Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Hello, YouTube. Hello, everyone. Um, I wanted to put this really quick, because I made a decision. I want to get this modded single player series out to you guys, and the best way to do that is to just give a little bit of a disclaimer. Um, there's a little bit of a spoiler coming in because I was listening back to the stream talking about the transition from the prologue to chapter 1, and there's a little bit of a spoiler, so I just wanted to make this quick. Like, this is going to be like 2 minutes or less, this portion of it, to tell you that there's a little bit of a spoiler within the video you're about to see. So feel free to skip it, watch the prologue, and then come back to this video. That's totally fine. If you so choose, that's perfectly fine. um I felt kind of bad. I need to pause that. I felt kind of bad, and I don't know, it just didn't sit right with me, and I wanted to make this really quick, to say that there's a little bit of a spoiler in what you're about to see. So feel free to skip it. If you watch it, cool. Maybe it makes sense, maybe it doesn't. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, there's a lot of talking coming. I'm not gonna lie to you. At the beginning of this series, there's a lot of talking, just explaining to you what's going on and explaining to you the project. Sorry, not sorry, but if you can get through it, you'll enjoy it that much more. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, enjoy the series. Let's see if we can get this done. I'm gonna try to get this done in 15 minutes. YouTube, hello. Uh, yeah, we're streaming. This is kind of like the second take. Um, but I wanted to make this, actually need this to go even more down. I'm gonna try to get this done in 15 minutes or less. Obviously, you guys can tell if I did that or not. This is specifically for the GTA modded single player series. This is kind of like a transitional thing, getting us out of the prologue into chapter 1, essentially. So I wanted to specifically mention that because I like to list the timeline of things, because I feel like that's important. I feel like that helps people process what's going on. So I'm saying this up front. At the start of this was made after all of the prologue was released. Okay, so this was made in between the prologue and right before chapter 1 started. So I just wanted to give you that for timeline purposes, so that if you, because I know this is going to be at the very beginning of the series, it may not make full sense, but when you watch the prologue into chapter 1, then it'll make even more sense. So, but I am putting this at the beginning of the series. So yes, this was made after the prologue. Second thing I wanted to say, there is a new project name. That's the reason why I'm kind of saying when this was made. This has officially become Project Tiger. I was calling it Project Solo for the prologue, but this is officially chapter 1 is basically Project Tiger. So I just wanted to put that out there. I am going down on the list. I know it may not seem like I'm explaining everything, because this is just the housekeeping stuff, and then we have some things to talk about. For the people who may have, because right now they're private, for the people who may have watched the modded single player that we did on GTA, for the people who watched the first 7 episodes, I edited them, but I wasn't able to edit them in the way that I wanted to, per se. The original footage is gone. That being said, I had to download it off YouTube in order to edit it. The quality of the video that I got from YouTube was not what I uploaded originally. So for the sake of the video, I had to edit it on YouTube. So there's going to be some jump cuts, and that's as much as I could do. Like, quite literally, like, I watched the entire thing multiple times, all 7 episodes multiple times, hours of work, and picked out what I wanted to cut to give it more of the vibe that I'm going for. That's why I said the name is changing, and I wanted to make sure that I included, you know. But anyway, the first 7 videos were edited, and they are going to be re-released after this video, actually. So whenever this gets uploaded, a few days go by, you'll see episode 1, and then so on and so forth. So I just wanted to let you know that yeah. Anyway, let's move on. I don't want to repeat myself. Okay. I can finally say that are we really only 4 minutes in? I am doing good on time. Okay. I can finally say, this is one of my disclaimers that I mentioned several times. You'll hear a lot of this stuff repeated, but I can finally say that the music for this project has been finalized. And what I mean by that is the 99.9% of it has been selected. I have to do some stuff to get it into the series and things of that nature. There's a couple of 100 songs. And when I say a couple of 100, I mean probably around 700. It's possible. The music has been finalized for this. The disclaimer part of this, again, this stuff has been mentioned multiple times, so I'm gonna try not to repeat myself, but some things I have to. The songs that I chose, I'm just gonna be honest with you, I was not looking at the album cover. And that's first off. I was not looking at the album cover. And secondly, it wasn't intentional. Like, I literally had a playlist and I was just listening to it. So I was listening to it on my way to work, on my way home from work, while I was at work, while I was at lunch. Like, I was like, I'm listening. I'm just listening to music. I'm not looking at album covers. I'm not looking at music videos. I'm not looking at any of that kind of stuff. Does it fit the criteria for what I was looking for this project? So that being said, I'm putting this in here to say that I didn't look at the album covers, and secondly, all the music that is in this project, I specifically searched for clean / edited / album versions of the song. That's what I did. That being said, there's a handful of songs that had a clean version but still had a few words in it that I could edit out. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because I don't want to give it away. But you'll understand why I'm hesitating once you see the introduction to chapter 1. If you were to go search for these songs, the ones that I had to edit, I am putting them in the description of this video. Okay? Just so you know. Because I don't want you to walk into something that I didn't prepare you for, especially if I'm the one introducing it to you. I want you to have all the information before you make a decision. Once again, this is not for everybody. This series is not for everybody. I don't want to say too much because you'll understand. You'll understand when you see it. But I just wanted to give that disclaimer to say that I specifically looked for clean versions of all the music that I was listening to, because that's essentially 96%. I was listening to clean music during what I'm trying to, what I'm putting on display for you. Okay, let's move on. The prologue in itself, I'm not gonna lie, as I thought about it, it has some like symbolism in it, because there's a lot of things that went wrong. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. You can some of them are as clear as day. Like, okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. That's not the way that should have worked. But I left it. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the prologue represents a specific time period. I'm trying so hard not to spoil anything, but I'll just put it like that. The prologue represents a certain period of your life where you're trying stuff, where you know what you're trying to do, but you don't know exactly how to get it done, and you're trying stuff. This is the trial and error phase. This is, you know, that whole portion of it. The chapter 1, I guess you'll have to wait and see what it is that we're talking about when it comes to that. But the reason I brought this up was because the prologue is going to stay exactly how it is. Now, I did edit it to give it more of a vibe, but there's some things I just didn't cut out, and I left it there on purpose because of that symbolism. So let's move on. We're almost at our timer. What are we at? 9 minutes. Okay. Okay, here's the bad news. It's bittersweet. I don't want to say it's bad news. You guys know I don't believe in bad news. It's bittersweet. It's my fault. I'm gonna put it out. I'm gonna get in front of it. It's my fault. It's my fault. It's my fault. It's my fault. And it's my fault. Because of what I've done to the game in terms of mods, whether it be graphical, whether it be gameplay related, that's pretty much the only 2 areas I touched. I have spent hundreds of hours on this project, and the only reason, yeah, don't do that, Rich. And the only reason I'm putting that out there is to say that even though I spent that amount of time, I didn't have anyone helping me. So there's a lot of things, there's a lot of things I had to learn on the fly. Now, let me say what I'm gonna say, and then it'll make sense. Because of what I've done to the game, I can no longer stream it. The graphical enhancements that I gave it, the gameplay tweaks that, again, you'll there's some things that you're not gonna even, it'll be like a 1 moment thing and you won't even realize it's happening. But because of what I did, and again, like I said, it's my fault. If I wanted to have a streamable version of my project, I would have to take a lot of stuff away. I'm going to be honest, there was a lot of sacrificing just to even get to this point. Okay? I don't, you guys know the motto, if you're gonna do it right. Like I said, there were things I left in the prologue, things that didn't work the way they were supposed to, and I don't like to knowingly put out something that I believe is trash. Fair? That being said, the performance is going to suffer a bit. Again, because of what I did to the game. Okay, this is me. This is my fault. This is me not really having. I looked up articles. I did my best. That's what I can tell you. I don't like it that I can't stream it. I really don't. However, like I said, I don't believe in bad news. However, me not being able to stream it presents opportunities. And that's going to be my last point. But before I get to my last point, the reason I'm telling you up front that I won't be able to stream it is because I'm not going to break the fourth wall. I'm not going to spoil anything. But for those who know the game, for those who know GTA, there is a specific part of the map that I'm not going to force it. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to force it, but I'm cognizant of it. There's a specific part of the map where it's the most choppy, like it's bad for performance and stuff like that. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's the strip. It's the downtown strip where the tour bus is at, where, you know, the arcade and the nightclub is online, Tequila a lot, that the strip where the tattoo parlor is, where the movie theater is, that strip right there where the bank is, that strip right there. I just told you why. But that strip is extremely rough with the settings I have. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm cognizant of it, but I'm going to try to naturally stay away from that area. Not to say I'm not going down there, because if something I'm doing takes me down there, then I'm going down there. But I'm just letting you know up front that that is the only area that I've seen so far, actually, funny enough. That's the only area I've seen that the quality of what I'm doing in this project drops. Now, like I said, this presents an opportunity because I can't stream it because it's already kind of suffering in a sense. I'll just put for my tech peoples, I'm barely getting 35 frames per second. I'm just putting that out there. I'm barely getting 35, 37, maybe 40 because of what I did to the game, because of how much is going on in the game. And it's not even with it all being active at one time. It's literally just me loading up the game and sitting there, and I'm only getting like 35, 37, maybe 40 frames a second. And I've changed settings that I did not want to change to even get it to that. Now, the reason why I'm saying this presents an opportunity is because this was a thought I actually had when the series started. I just didn't know how to position it. Because I cannot stream this, that means that there will be time in between episodes. If there is anyone out there, YouTube comments, stream, Discord, Twitter, wherever you happen to, Xbox, wherever you happen to have a connection to me, a line open, this is basically a life simulator. Okay? That's what this series is. At its core, it's a life simulator. So if you have a question for me, or if you want to be one of the voices of, you know, one of the people that I'm hanging out with, you can send me stuff. You can send me voice clips on you can send me voice clips on Xbox or even on Discord, and I can put them into the series. I know YouTube is a bit difficult, so if you have a question, it can be personal or not. It can be about anything, and when I say anything, I mean anything. You want to ask me if I ever did drugs, or if you want to ask me that, you can put it right in the comments. I'm gonna put it on the pool of you know, conversation, whatever, I'm going to put it in the pool. I'm going to put it on the list. And throughout the story, I'm going to start answering those questions. So this is why I said it's bittersweet that I can't stream this. But like I said, this gives me an opportunity to have you all be in this experience with me. I'm not a fool. I'm not a fool. And this is why I said I don't know why God does this to me. But when I'm going to do something, anyway, you'll see my point. I'm not a fool. Today, June 18th, they announced that GTA 6 pre-orders will go live on the 25th, I think, right? They said? I put it in Discord. Hold on. Yeah, they announced that today. So I'm not a fool thinking that once GTA 6, anyone's going to be interested in what this series has to offer or whatever. Some people might be, most people won't be, just being honest. I'm not a GTA streamer. I'm not a GTA content creator. This is just a tool that I'm using, and I found out about it when I found out about it. So I'm going to do everything within my power to give you what I have for this, and who knows, there may be a spinoff. This might be like a TV show. I don't know what's to come of this. This is just a passion project of mine that I wanted to present to you guys. I did not make it to my 15-minute mark. Dang it. But to be fair, we are actually finished. So I'm going to try not to repeat any of the stuff we already talked about. I'm trying to get better at that. But somebody with a loud motor decided they wanted to ride by the house. Anyway, I'm not going to repeat anything that I've said. Go back, replay it, check the description for the list of songs that I mentioned. You have everything you need. I'm on Xbox, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Discord, I'm on Twitch, I'm on YouTube, as you can clearly tell. You want to be a part of this? I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Twitter, Discord, and Xbox, I list those because those are a bit more personal. Like for YouTube comments, some people they don't want to look weird, or they want to ask something but they don't know how to ask it, and they feel they're kind of not necessarily stage fright, but that kind of thing. So I wanted to provide you an alternative for kind of public speaking in a sense. So you can DM me. You absolutely can DM me. I don't have a problem with that. So yeah, if you guys want to be a part of this series, you have your instructions. That is going to be the end of this video. I don't know how much longer I'm going to stream, but that doesn't concern you. I appreciate you, YouTube chat. Y'all know this is a good question. This is actually a good question, and I'm glad you asked it. You said, how dirty and low can we make these voices? Basically, it's how do I answer this? It's a great question because this is kind of important. Think of it as you going to, well, no, that's a bad example. if I can let my mind go free with the voice, I don't want to put restrictions on this. But be respectful. I get, maybe that's the way I can say it. You know what I mean? Like, if okay, I tried. All right, I can't beat around the bush with stuff. So if you're asking about sex positions and stuff like that, that's not going in there. I'm just gonna be honest. If you're asking which drugs do what, I'm not answering that question. That's not going into the project. You understand what I'm saying? Like it, like, and I'm not saying you would. I'm not saying anyone would, but I'm saying if it's within that kind of stuff, it's not going in. I can tell you up front, it's not going in. This is more so getting to know me, or me even getting to know you. This isn't like, obviously it's a modded single player thing, so it's gonna be something that's going to happen that would cause a story, or it would cause a moment, or it would, you know what I mean, it would cause a specific chain of events, like in terms of thinking or stuff like that. Not like that voices, not like that voice lines, like dirty. Well, like in terms of like poking fun at me, I don't have a problem with that. Like, let's go get blasted and laid, stuff like that. I mean, here's the thing. And again, I appreciate this because this is exactly what I was talking about. This is exactly what the conversation I wanted to have. That's not that's and I'm, again, thank you. I'm not gonna say your name unless you want me to, but thank you, chat, for saying that, because that is literally the perfect example of what I'm talking about. And what I mean by that is, there's like what you just typed, let's go get blasted, let's go get laid, stuff like that. I don't have a problem with that statement. The reason why I'm taking time to answer this is because if you know me, like I don't have a problem putting that in. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's life. Like, I'm not sitting here acting again. I know that some of this stuff you haven't heard, or some of this stuff you're gonna hear multiple times. I'm not trying to create a bubble for us. I'm trying to teach us how to navigate the bubble. You know what I mean? How to take the bubble with us. I'm not trying to like protect you from the world and shell you from the world and all of that stuff. That's not what this is. That's what it started off as. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. That's what this started off as. That's not realistic. So what I want to do with my channel, with the stuff that I'm doing now, with the living Bible that I talked about, I want to teach you how to walk through this stuff. I want to teach you how to get hit on your shoulder and you literally don't even realize you got hit. Like, I want to teach you how to walk through this stuff. I want to teach you how to walk through the world. So there's nothing wrong with saying something like that. I have no issue with that. You can send me what you want. My comment, because you're asking, my comment to that is, that's not going to go anywhere. That's going to be a one line and done. You understand what I'm saying? I people have invited me to smoke. People have talked to me about different things. Like let's be honest. For me, it's going to be a one liner. And then it's going to be over. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I guess again, what I like was hinting at, I guess, was like, make it more conversational. Like, if you really want to be a part of this story, be a part of the story. If you want to throw some one-liners out there, it's literally going to be that. It's going to be like a 10-second moment, and then that's going to be it. And then the story's just going to keep going. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that happens. So if that's what you want to do, I am giving you full permission to do that. If you want to do that, do that. I'm just, yeah. So perfect example. right in chat. I'm glad the question came up, and I'm glad I got it into this video to explain this last part, because this was something, honestly, I was really excited about. I was hoping people sent me some voice clips and, you know, stuff like that. Like, that would be awesome. Like, if you like literally, like, you want to be part of the story, you can be part of the story. It's that simple for me. I like again, this is the hundreds of hours that y'all didn't get to see. I know how to do this stuff. You know what I mean? So I mimic story with the voices that I meet you in the game, and story progression different. Listen, like your I'm not gonna say anything else. Let your creativity run wild. I'm gonna see on my end what I can do with it. Like, this is like, realistically, this is my project, and I gotta figure out how this is gonna work and how this fits and things like that. So I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'm just kind of giving you a guideline. I'm giving you like kind of like the borders of it in a sense. If you can make whatever it is that you want to do fit within those borders, I have nothing to say. I'm all for it. I don't want this video to get any longer than it has. Yeah, it's about to hit 30 minutes. Again, I planned for it to be 15, but I'm glad it went this long, because that was needed. That was needed. That was absolutely needed. And thank you. You know who you are, for asking the question and being bold enough to ask the question. I appreciate you. I appreciate you very much. I think that's going to do it for this video, but I cannot, like, it's an understatement to say that I'm excited to get this out to you guys finally. I've been working on this since November. It's now June. Life, there's a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of life that has happened, but I've been working on this since November, even before that. So listen, okay? Listen, I've been working on this, okay? I'm excited to bring this to you. That's the reason I wanted to just go ahead and stream. And I was like, if I stream, I can do this video today. I'm going to just go ahead and put it out there so that I can start working on the rest of the thing and actually kind of like start the series up again. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, apologize. Sorry, not sorry for the extra 15 minutes, but it was needed. So I appreciate y'all. I will see y'all in the next one. And just like what happened in chat, if you have questions, if you want to be clear, you know what I mean? Again, if you don't want to put it, you know, in the YouTube comments, DM me. I'm perfectly fine with that. I can answer your question. We can have a dialogue. We can come up with something. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I told y'all, I want other voices in here. I'm tired of hearing just mine. I want other voices in here. I'm not perfect. I got ideas, but literally, the person in chat gave me something else to think about that I wasn't even considering, and it was a great idea. So I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night, good day, wherever you happen to be. I am so genuinely excited to bring to you Project Tiger. Enjoy the series. I'll see y'all in the next one. If you want to do it right. Peace, y'all. Tiger out. Yeah.